What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. How's everybody doing? I'm great. Thank you for asking. That's the first time that we've said that in the new year. Today's the 3rd of January. I took a little bit of December off. We've got a few videos out, but not the usual 3 per week. We've probably got 2 or 3 to come out before this video, so you might see this in the week of the 10th or something. But this is going to throw it back to the old school. We're going to go back with a full push tutorial. This is much more of a chest focused workout today, so there's going to be a lot more chest focus. We are going to hit the delts as well, but there's just no direct overhead pressing, which, you know, we could argue don't even necessarily need the delts, but that's a story for another video. So we're going to work our way through it, and I think I'm just going to talk you through what I'm thinking, where I'm thinking, what I'm deciding with exercise selection, what I'm thinking about weight selection in my reps and my sets, and we'll just take it back to that old school of just talking you through a workout and keeping it raw, keeping it on point, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so first exercise here is going to be a Pec Deck. Now, I used to take this Pec Deck to failure, which used to be a really good technique to kind of work that pec in the short range, because it's one of those things that you can get into the short range versus a press where you sort of finish not as close together. I kind of stopped taking that to failure maybe 6 to 8 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, and I much more use this as a connection builder, a mind to muscle connection builder to the pec, but also to get a lot of fluid moving, to get the joints moving, just so there's not so much stiffness when you're loading up a press. And I've really noticed the benefits of doing that. So we're just going to do 2 sets on this. We're still going to work up, and I'm probably going to keep them at like a 7 out of 10 failure. This is all about driving connection and blood into the muscle first. Alright guys, so when we're doing a Pec Deck, what I want you guys to focus on is, while like part of the movement is bringing your hands together, you know, I often see a lot of people who will just bring their hands together like this, and they'll completely forget their elbows. Well, actually, the elbow is the adduction point. So if you can push your hands out, drive your elbows in together as you're doing this, you are going to get more range of motion within that pec. So we're going to move on to a low incline dumbbell press here. This is the big pressing movement that I chose. You can choose anything that you really want to. I would personally say that I would either do something that's free weight, like a dumbbell, or throw a band on a reverse band Smith press or something like that. I find that a barbell is quite restrictive. I did that incline reverse banded run for a very long time. I really fancy something different. I'm quite strong at dumbbells, personally. You might think I'm not, but I bet I'm stronger than you. At dumbbells, and I really want to try and push the 80 kilo dumbbells at some point, so I think that'd be really good. So we're just going to warm up here very slowly. I think you should probably do an incline. Most men pretty much need more incline chest. Insertions are never that favorable up here, so the more incline that you can do, you know, while recovering, and then the better. So we're going to start off with a big incline press here, as we are fresh. Whew, that was like a minefield. Oh, shit. Yes. 36 for now. To a flat press. We've obviously worked in that kind of upward motion, which very much like I can feel that just slab right here pumped. You're going to get a lot of front delts as well. I think that's one thing that guys forget. You don't necessarily need to train your front delts at all because you have so much extension and contraction whenever you're doing any type of press. So now we're just going to direct the intent a little bit lower. I'm going to focus on this hanging titty. So we're going to sit high. Probably come a little bit higher. I've started this machine, so this is pretty much my pressing point. I'm not getting forced back here, so my shoulders hurt. This is going to be my starting point. You're just going to push straight out. While this is probably not pushing downward, it's not pushing down like this, it's still having a nice big contraction across the entirety of the pec, potentially biasing those mid to low fibers. So we're going to load this press up. See how we go. So I noticed while I was doing that press that actually my reset point could have been lower, and I realized that in the movement I thought I'm not going to stop the movement, I'm just going to go until I can't on this, and all I've done here is this. Fortunately this machine you can adjust. I've just brought the seat forward one, which is basically going to stop me from being here and push me to here, which is just going to give me that extra 5 to 10% in lengthening of that pec, and it's going to help me get that full contraction. So don't be afraid to change things even after a set, just to try and get a better feel for it. Very nice thing about this machine, comes on a converge. You can probably see from that front shot, it will converge, which is what the pec does. You know, you drive across, you don't stop there, you know, it comes right across here. So that's why a dumbbell works really well. That's why you would maybe prefer a dumbbell or a machine over a barbell, because that barbell is a very fixed path. You will finish there. With any converging machine or dumbbells, you'll finish a bit closer. So today in the UK is a bank holiday. For those of you guys who don't know what bank holiday is, basically just get a day off work. It's Monday. It is absolutely rammed in here. So usually what I would do is like a seated on the cables cuffed clavicular fly, which is a lower bias fly. We'd have the cuffs on and we'd really focus on coming lower. But it's crazy busy in here. I can't bother to wait. I've got stuff to do today, so I'm not afraid to swap it out if I need to. You know, if there's something available, I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is the Atlantis Pec Deck, but it's like a lower Pec Deck, so you can drive a lot lower and you can really focus on that lower pec. Almost kind of subbing in that cuff costal fly for this. It's almost just trying to hit the exact same thing, so that's what we're doing here. Just trying to replicate what we would do otherwise. So much like the Pec Deck at the start, we're not just focusing on bringing the hands together. Yes, that's part of the movement, is bringing the hands together. We're also just trying to drive those elbows forward and squeeze that pec as much as you can for das pump, because I am absolutely swollen right now. Oh. One thing I've been doing recently is where I've usually done the top set, back off set, maybe a 6 to 10 to a 10 to 15. I've pushed that second set up a lot higher, and I've been aiming higher on the rep range in those heavy ones. So I know I did 6 reps on the incline press earlier, but I've been trying to hit that 8 or 9, and I've been trying to push my second set to 15 to 20. For no other reason than I want to try and lift less weight overall, if that makes sense. Like, pushing weight is really fun and it's good, but I know that it's going to have an impact on my joints and like my ability to live for a long time. Not everyone is like that, but for me personally, I do like get injured, especially when I'm on like the end of a training cycle and weights are very, very heavy. So just by extending those sets a little bit, like, naturally weight will have to come down, but the volume's the same, the intensity is the same, the goal, the parameters that I'm trying to gain muscle over are the exact same. They're just a slightly higher rep range, and in doing that it'll be a slightly more comfortable weight for my body. If I can push it for 10 to 15 reps, or if I can push it for 15 to 20 reps, you best believe rep 1 to 10 is pretty fine. Whereas if I'm at that place where, you know, I'm doing like 3 or 4 reps and I'm trying to get 6, like there's a lot of strain through your joints, your muscles, something that I'm being more mindful of. You know, is it going to change things? I'm not so sure. We'll find out in 3 or 4 months' time, as I can kind of assess that training block where I push things a little bit higher. But otherwise, I'm feeling good today. We're going to do some delts now. We're doing a crossover cuff lateral raise with one of my thin cuffs, by the way, the new and improved ones. You've got to try these. So we're basically setting our cables here so they're perfectly in line with the delts. If you go too high, you're going to pull a bit too low. If you put them too high, you're going to pull a bit too high. Opposites. We're basically just trying to create the biggest challenge that we can, the most length and range, all the way into the shortened range. The cable is going to add resistance to that negative, that eccentric. And honestly, probably my favorite shoulder exercise. So definitely give this one a go. So, as this is a chest dominant push day, I'm going to do more sets on these laterals than I would do of everything else. You know, where we got the incline press, we got the flat press, we've got the pec deck. We might throw in a clavicular fly in a minute. That's 4 exercises of 2 sets. That's 8 sets on my chest. You know, obviously I don't want to do full 8 sets on my delts, but you know, we can get on here and we can do 3 really accurate sets onto those delts just to completely fry them, top up that volume for the week. And then on the second push day of the week, which is on Thursday for me, Monday first one, Thursday second one, that's where we'll flip that on its head, and we'll do maybe 1 press and one fly, and the rest of it will be overhead presses and lateral delts. So we'll end up doing, you know, almost a completely flip volume, 8 to 10 sets on delts, and you know, 3 to 4 on pecs, and that's a really good way that you can get some really accurate training on both your chest and your delts.
With me now. Squeeze, good. Love that. Thank you. Pull. Yes.
Ooh. Hey, his cuffs are so nice. I can't even get off them. So guys, when you're doing arms, there are things to consider that perhaps maybe you haven't thought about, maybe you have thought about. You don't just want to curl, you don't just want a tricep extension, because you want to work your shoulder in places of extension, flexion. For example, you do want to work your bicep in a flex position to work that peak a little bit more. You want to work your bicep in an extended position so you can work that long head a little bit more. Same goes for triceps. You want to work yourself, you know, get yourself overhead, put your shoulder up into extension a little bit. And you want to work that overhead so you can work this big long head down here a little bit easier. But then you can also do something in front of your body, which is going to work this short head a little bit easier. So there are things that you can consider when you are doing arms. Just Nothing crazy. You don't need to do 3, 4, 5 exercises to hit the angles. They're very one-dimensional arms are, like you either flex or you extend, like maybe like a small smidge of rotation in an extension for a tricep, but literally, you know, there's only so much that you can do. So don't like go complicating it. 2 exercises, 1 extension, 1 flexion, sorted. Alright guys, session over. Just finished up with those long ropes there. Really, really good session, honestly. I'm feeling really good. I had some blood tests done just before I went to Mauritius. I got my testosterone done because I personally wasn't feeling like I was fucking blasting. I didn't feel like I was like... For me, personally, like, it's really good motivation, really good energy, like a crazy sex drive, like an unsustainable one. And I feel like, yeah, this is on cycle. And I wasn't noticing all those 3 things. I don't know whether it was because I had accumulated fatigue and needed that deload that we talked about in the previous videos, because I definitely felt better after that. I actually got my hormone results while I was in Mauritius, and I found out that my testosterone was like 45 nanomole. Naturally, I sit at like 26. Probably not anymore, but when I was natural, I was at 26, and I was using 300 milligrams of testosterone. So that tells me that 300 milligrams of testosterone was underdosed, and all of you spec heads who are telling me that I'm using grams of gear, like I literally wasn't, I can prove it. But yeah, that tells me that 300 milligrams was underdosed, so I messaged the guy who supplied me. He tried to make the wrong right and sent me over some cyprinate, which is like another ester that he had made, and he was 100% sure it was on. And I've been using that for 3 weeks since I got back, and I feel like, yeah, I'm back. So it's kind of annoying that I was using sort of underdosed testosterone for a while, but part and parcel of the game. That's the reality that people don't talk about. Sometimes you fucking waste a 16-week cycle, well, not waste, but you know, use a 16-week cycle and perhaps subpar. And that's something you got to deal with. But I'm feeling absolutely on top of the world at the moment. That was a good session. I feel full swollen, and I'm really excited for this new year, guys. So have a happy new year. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas as well. Let's hope that 2022 is going to be the best for us. The last couple of years have been, you know, hit and miss. So let's do what we can as people to put ourselves in the best position to do as best as possible. This is my debut year in the pro leagues. I am gassed. So I'll be working every single day until I stand on that stage in September. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Peace and love, everybody.